Hello and welcome to the next part of Danganronpa Another. Last time was a ride, as you can see.
I'm so distraught.
It sure... things happened.
Yeah, not what I wanted, but, you know, it's fine, I guess.
And it's kinda quite something how, like, two sweethearts died at the same time.
Yeah, I don't like that. But hey, you have less to voice now! Yay!
Yeah, after a while I was like thinking like, oh my god, I have so... Especially
Nah,
if
don't worry, it's still pretty evened out.
Like, especially if, like, we are right and it was Uehara.
My money's on that priest.
Yeah, free
His
strikes
bully
out.
ass is about to leave this chat. I was told by Yomi to say that, okay? Anyway, let's go.
Let's get closer. Hello,
so
Kakeru.
I'm just kind of shocked that there's less clues. Maybe just in this room, but because they're splitting it between two victims. But you know.
Yamaguchi's corpse stretches loosely on the floor of the library. In contrast to his sloppy body, it was droopy, his pupils were loose, and he felt empty. This is a man's death. I've seen it many times already, real people dying. Yamaguchi, I just talked with you just yesterday. There's no time to be sad. Even for Yamaguchi, we must find out who made him like this. I've decided to investigate Yamaguchi's body. I felt something hard and cold. According to the Monokuma file, it is said that he was cut off by something sharp. Indeed, there was a terrible wound that I could see with my own eyes. Yamaguchi's neck was completely cut out from the back neck to the front. But it was surprising that it wasn't cut completely, but barely a piece of flesh was left attached. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my theory. I think I know what happened to him.
Yeah. Right now I'm not seeing how else that wound could have been caused either.
Yeah, same.
I put up with the nausea that came up and looked at the wound. I've heard that the injured area is ravenously torn by something like a knife or two that's usually roughened. But in Yamaguchi's case it was cut neatly, as if you were cutting paper with a cutter knife. I can't...
the guillotine? God. Like those paper guillotines,
Yeah.
I think is what he's referencing. Ugh, I don't like that image. Shut up. Shut up, Yuki.
I can't see anymore. It's so terrible. Poor Yamaguchi, spilling all of this blood. Just like Tomori. Huh? As my stomach was shaking inside, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. Surely blood in a library is no joke. It ran from the corridor of the body of Yamaguchi, and it was also protruding from Yamaguchi's body. You mean like how it's dragged?
Yeah, like it's like a blood trail.
Yamaguchi's neck doesn't bleed anymore. Looking at the Monokuma file, it said that there were no other visible traumas other than the neck wound. Then this tremendous amount of blood flow from the neck only. Yamaguchi's time of death is 8:40. From this wound, immediate death is certain, so even if the wound started bleeding from then, it had not yet passed even an hour. But why is the blood no longer flowing out from his throat? So there's too much blood for instantaneous death.
Yeah. It's like he bled out.
But
Like,
since...
okay. This is really weird. So it's almost egging it on as if he had bled out. And I have a really morbid theory that, like, he was slowly drowning in his own blood while bleeding out. Because here's the thing about the human body that people are not going to love, and I think I mentioned this last time. The human head, if severed, can remain conscious for, like, a little bit after it's, like, you know, but there's still some connection there. It still counts as a head severing, but you'd still, yeah, it's a morbid thought, but that's all I got. He should not have gone out like this. I'm very upset.
Yeah, so right now we are thinking basically that that he was already starting to bleed out way before he actually died.
Yeah, because the other thing is, he's not at the door. He is not at the door, and the surplus of the blood is actually coming from the door, which makes sense because there was, like, you know, almost a decapitation there, like almost a full decapitation there. And then you have drag marks, like someone had pulled him backwards. Because otherwise that blood does not make sense. Because if he was faced the other way, I could probably, like, maybe entertain the idea that he was crawling, but no, because also the decapitation thing, like I said, you wouldn't be able to control the rest of the body anymore. You would just be conscious for a little while. So there's a lot going on here.
When I recall the words of Inori, who is no longer here, it seems that after the heart stops, blood circulation also stops. If so, in this case of immediate death, the blood should flow even less. But isn't it too early? In a similar case, when I investigated Tomori's corpse, there was a little blood coming out from her. However, in contrast, Yamaguchi's body looked very dry already.
Remember what I said about Tomori's neck wound?
Yeah.
About the fact that, like, the reason that she was bleeding so much is because, like, when you get severe neck trauma like that, it's like a pause and then it basically fountains out, which explains why all the blood is fucking there, mind you. But, like, oh, I didn't think that would come up twice.
It's been less than an hour since blood has spilled, but the blood already dries up?
That's the other thing. I think he's been, like, slowly dying. That's what makes more sense to me, because the blood wouldn't be dry that quick.
I knew something was wrong, but there was no way to think about it anymore, because there wasn't an Inori or Kinjo who had professional insight into these moments. Inori can't speak to us anymore, but Kinjo is still alive. I should ask him if he wakes up.
I have a hot feeling that he's gonna be kinda useless up until the trial. To be fair, Yuki.
That is not English.
We did read the Monokuma file before we cut last time, though.
So we don't...
It is just really weird that, like, they didn't translate it when you investigate it a second time. What the fuck? Okay.
Huh? What is this blood spot? Right next to me is Yamaguchi, whose blood goes all around the library. It's not that strange that there could be blood spots in the library following this idea, but this looks kinda different. It's the only one away from Yamaguchi's corpse. So this blood spot is...
Hey Maida, what are you doing sitting on the floor?
Oh, Kobashikawa. Do you know where this bloodstain comes from?
Oh, right. That's where Kinjo fell. What? So he's bleeding?
He was here? In the library?
I remember that's like they found Kinjo passed out with Yamaguchi dead.
For some reason I had in my head that he was found in a closet.
Well, that's because that's the theory is that he was in there. But because I'm like, where else would that blood come from?
Hmm.
Don't know.
That's a very curious spot to find him in.
I'm trying to figure out why Kinjo would be over here in the first place.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure that out because realistically, I know our subject is Kinji, right? Like our suspect is fucking Kinji. But Mans is not ripped. So I'm trying to figure out who the hell could drag our beef Mans here that far other than, you know, I gesture to Kinjo. But I'm trying to figure out why he would have a reason to drag him away from the door. Or if he was trying to... Okay, so now I have a theory, but I have no idea if it's right. I wonder if, like... if, Kakeru was unconscious, Kinjo noticed that he was about to die and tried to drag him back and then, like, failed. And it ended up being the... But again, that almost doesn't make sense because of the dried blood. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on with this case? What is happening?
I just wonder, like, was Kinjo a police boy? Was he attacked before Kakeru died or after?
Oh, that's a good point. If Kinjo was already passed out in here, I could see Kakeru coming in to check on him.
He could
someone
be
ambushing him.
Though I must say, someone as smart as Uehara probably would have targeted Police Boy first, rather, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Targeting, like, the 3 most useful people in a case, though. 4, because technically Mekaru was also targeted, just not killed.
Trying
to figure out the fucking reasoning for that.
This is the place you found him?
Well, when we entered the library, Yamaguchi was there, as you can see it, and Kinjo was lying in that position and unconscious. You didn't know because you didn't see Kinjo here.
That's right. I heard that Kinjo was struck in the head and bleeding, but you mean he spilled this much blood?
You thought it was a joke? Otori had to disinfect and bandage him, so it's okay for now. But at first, I thought he was really dead.
Kinjo was lying in this position. Then I can't imagine that Kinjo knocked down someone else's head in the back. When and how did the killer attack Kinjo to stun him? And if it's enough to make you bleed this much, why did they stop with only that? Good question.
I am of the belief that Kinjo was bait. Because with how they're phrasing it here, it now makes me really lean towards that theory.
Yamaguchi and Inori were the only ones who were killed, even though there was an obvious malice behind it. The fact that a blackened can kill up to 2 people was added later as a rule, so the criminal couldn't have known about this. If Kinjo wakes up, I should ask him. Kinjo attacked! It's a huge blood trace from Yamaguchi's body up to the library door. Is all this Yamaguchi's blood? There's something wrong with this. It's a terrible amount to look at, but I've seen a situation similar to this. It was dark back then, so I couldn't see well. Tomori also shed tremendous amount of blood and died. However, there There's more from Yamaguchi's in terms of quantity, because his blood leads all the way to the corridor. I do also want to mention that Yamaguchi obviously is like way bigger and probably has much more blood, but still.
Yeah, there's that too. He also, considering how in shape he is, his circulation's probably better. So it would gush the fuck out.
That's... yeah, a new view on being fit, I guess.
I suppose.
There's also this. In Tomori's case, there were 2 wounds, one on the neck and the other in the stomach. It was also discovered several hours after death, so... all the bleeding was already done? Less than an hour after death, and no matter how deeply you are injured, can this amount of blood come out of your neck? Not only that, the shape of the blood is also a little strange. This looks as if the body of Yamaguchi was brought into the library from outside. I'll check this out for a bit. Huh? When I slightly lifted Yamaguchi's body and looked at the floor where he was lying down, I immediately felt a sense of discomfort. Props to you for being able to lift him.
Yeah, the fact you're able to lift him at all when he is basically dead weight right now. Hello? Yuki? Are you, like, holding out on how strong you are? Because this should not be possible for you without help.
He may do a little lifting.
Possibly.
And this kind of reminds me about here. You know the Crooked Man?
Yes.
In that one chapter where our boy like lifts a whole teenager up and
oh my god, yeah, I forgot about that.
And goes up a ladder while carrying him, and it's never remarkable.
I swear to God. Forgot about that. Oh man.
Secretly Ripped, Part 2.
Secretly ripped. I mean, to be fair, in David's case, he's always been kind of well built. I wouldn't say like Yamaguchi built, but I'd say like, you know, your typical like lower end Bishonen. Not as well built as Keith either, but anyway, that aside.
David good.
David good.
If the corpse was brought from outside, there should be no blood under Yamaguchi's corpse. Now that you mention it.
So where did the other blood come from if that...
But also, which means under... could it? No. That doesn't look like there are any spots where his body should be, so... It really went completely under his body. So he wasn't lying when it went there.
Yeah. I'm just now very confused about something now. How else can you make that wounds, if not from the door, if you're telling me that his fatal wound is that one? Like right there on that floor. Because then now the blood trail doesn't make sense. And neither does all the blood at the door. I need to look at Kinjo. I need to see how badly injured he is.
But that's
I also need to look at Inori again, because she's really pale.
Yeah. Oh, you mean maybe they really did die in the same room?
It's possible. Because like, now that it's explaining it like this, I'm like, okay, that doesn't quite line up with anything I've just said. So either Kinjo's more wounded than we thought, or we need to check Inori for wounds, because I'm like, how the fuck else?
But that's what I see here. Blood spots are also over Yamaguchi's body. Thanks to that, Yamaguchi's stomach and chest were wet with blood. Yeah, this does suggest he was either lying already in a pool of blood, which wasn't his, or he was standing up.
Yeah. Oh, how would you inflict that wound standing up?
Also props to Yuki for noticing all that, because I probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah. I probably would have brushed right the fuck over that.
The shape of the bleeding itself certainly feels like dragging the corpse to the floor from the outside. No blood left under the corpse like this. No, before that. If there is blood under the body, it means that there was blood here before Yamaguchi fell. Is that right though? However, Inori didn't really seem to have bled. Then this blood must be Yamaguchi's.
What though?
I don't really know, but I noticed something strange about the situation with the blood-sea in the library in Yamaguchi's body. I'll mark it down and discuss it with the others at the class trial. Library bloodbath, that is fitting.
Wait, okay, now that I'm looking at the blood trail again, it almost doesn't completely look like it does sort of look like drag marks, but if he's completely covered in it, what if he managed to stumble backwards instead of like being dragged and then fall like forward?
Hmm.
That is the only way I could think of this working, but like then that begs the question of how do you angle how did you angle him for that injury at the door in the first place? What the fuck is going on with this case?
We shall find out.
Killing two people at the same time? How heinous is this person? This killer? Of course it's not me. Don't doubt it.
I don't think we would ever suspect you for
Aria,
this
you are
one.
so baby that you will never be suspected of anything. Like, don't even worry about that. You are too baby.
Yep.
Damn it. Yamaguchi and Inori were dead. I couldn't even say goodbye.
That's how it goes. Even so, we have to survive for them.
Hey, let's do more research. There may be something in this bookshelf. So, leave this place to me.
Are you sure? Maybe, yeah,
So,
could be.
Before we walk out of this room, can we please check that back door?
Yes, yes. Very
Damn
necessary.
it, are you serious? That's not a clue?
The door is still locked.
I'm so... How else? Okay. Now I definitely don't think he was dragged. That back door is locked. Then either Kinjo pulled him away from the door after whatever, or he stumbled backwards. Because he couldn't have been dragged by the murderer. And also there would be fucking footprints in blood if the murderer came out. Anyway.
I'm also again noticing how big this here is.
Yeah, that's why I think he was injured at the doors.
Maybe he wasn't lying but standing?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was saying. That like he would have been injured while standing up and then stumbled backwards and then fell in his own blood. That's what I think happened. But I'm still trying to factor Kinjo in because I'm like, why the fuck are you here? And why are you just there? What did you do? Oh, Maida.
Tyra, what are you doing? Is there something in the hallway?
Well, that's not exactly right. The smell of blood still is there, and I keep looking at the body, and I just get sick of it.
That's fair with this type of injury.
It's pretty grim.
Oh, Dad, are you okay? You don't have to overdo it.
No, everyone is working hard. I can't be the exception. The class trial will soon start.
It's alright. Then why don't you answer a few questions for me, Tyra?
Oh, you want to ask me something?
Yes, when Kurokawa, Uehara and I went to investigate the 3rd floor, would you like to tell me what happened on the 2nd floor at the same time? Yeah, she should know about this at least. Almost at the same time the BDA rang, Kinjo fainted. It's full of holes that my own eyes didn't see.
Oh, okay, I can help with this. That's simple enough. But there's not much to tell. We, like Maida, were shaken when we found the body. And then we started investigating.
Okay.
I don't know if this has anything to do with the case, Maida, but there's something I was a little confused about. Is it okay to say it?
Please. Sure. What about it?
Kanata, you said you found her in the science lab, right? But I stopped by the science lab just before nighttime yesterday, too.
Oh.
Up there. Oh, I was right. It was overnight. I said this last time that I don't think she died in the morning.
However, at that time, the door was locked too.
Huh? The door to the science lab was locked?
Yes. Do you think it's related to the case?
Absolutely.
I do. I sure fucking do.
It's true, the door didn't open even when we found Inori's body. It was blocked with something like a clasp. Even so, she said the door was already closed before nighttime began yesterday. I think I'll take it for reference. Thank you, Tyra.
Was I helpful? I'm glad then.
Oh, by the way, why did you go to the science lab just before nighttime yesterday?
Oh, that's...
I don't think you should
Don't be
ask
sus.
that.
That was because last night I did a bit of mincemeat in it.
Wait, huh?
Um...
Ma'am? Oh!
Yep.
I see. This is where
Okay. When I tried to use the scissors on my wrist.
Oh, were the scissors from the science lab?
Yes, I wasn't sane back then, yesterday. So I went to the science lab to pick up the scissors.
I understand. I get it now. Thanks, Tyra. Before nighttime yesterday, the science lab was already closed. What does that mean? I'll have to check it out. Yep.
that is a really grim clue, but I don't trust you.
And we were just starting to warm up to him too. God damn it.
That was intentional, I swear to God, this bitch. He was like, I'ma commit atrocities later, so I need to cozy up to you. Asshole. Anyway.
Man. Uehara, is your body okay? Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it too much, okay? No, it is not a deep wound, so do not mind it. By the way, have you seen the cell phone? Cell phone? You mean Maki's cell phone that you found on the 3rd floor? I thought you were keeping it. Yeah, I always kept it in my top pocket because I didn't know when I would need it, but now I realize that the phone is gone.
Oh, you dropped it, didn't you?
Now, is this somehow a part of his scheme, or did he generally lose it?
Not sure.
It disappeared. When was the last time you checked for the cell phone? It was until yesterday at night that I recall having it, but after my fainting it was gone. That's suspicious.
Extremely.
Then that means the killer probably took it, so you planted it somewhere, I see. That is a sinister promotion, but I would agree. However, the cell phone didn't seem important right now, because first we have to investigate. You put it in someone's pocket, didn't you? Or like in their room, but that's more unlikely.
I now want to check Mekaru and Kinjo to see if it's on either of them.
But in my opinion, it wouldn't be that smart to try to frame them.
No! I mean, like, if you're trying to pass it off on some idiots, okay, like being completely honest, fact that both of them were kind of somewhat involved in this case in the sense that they were both like either injured or kidnapped. If someone was super dumb enough to believe that one of them could have been the killer instead, sure, but you're smarter than that. I hope you didn't do this.
Or maybe we will find it with Inori.
Oh, that's possible too. That was my other thought. Considering like the her mouth was gagged, there was no way she could have been the one screaming, or you at least wouldn't be able to hear it past the water and the gag and the closed door. Not possible.
Yep. I wonder where that cell phone went. Yep.
Also, the morbid implications of that is you would have had to record her screaming.
That's true. Ah, yeah. We also need to... Yeah, by the way, that blood, where did it come from?
Yeah, I'm still... What the fuck is going on here?
Why is that shovel thing highlighted?
It looks like a spear of some kind,
yeah,
like a lance.
I need to check it. Huh? This plaster weapon, was it originally here? I thought it was against the plaster on the right. I don't come to the art room often, so I'm not sure about this. Okay. I don't know. It could be my imagination. The moment I tried to make that judgment and move my steps, I saw a red spot.
Is this how Kinjo got injured?
Maybe. It's a bit...
Stab? But also, like... I need to see Inori's body. I need to see if she's fucking bleeding.
Yeah. The spear is this blood? It wasn't very noticeable, but there was a circular red dot on the tip of the long blade. I picked up the spear and smelled the part. You like smelling stuff, I see. A faint but fishy smell. It must be. This is blood. Then the weapon that killed Yamaguchi was something long and sharp. This might fit for the murder weapon. It has not enough blood though. Unless it was washed off. Except for that one spot. After using it to kill Yamaguchi, it was returned to the same place where it was originally, but the location was different because the killer got mistaken. Looking at the blood on it, it must be something related to the case somehow. But why is the blood so tiny and in a circular platter? Like it was dropped there?
Seems more like it was a loose splatter hit it than it actually being a murder weapon.
Yeah. It was so tiny that I almost missed it. Did it make a small bounce? No, that would not have caused the blood to splatter in the first place. I don't think I can figure it out yet.
Also made of plaster.
What is plaster, by the way?
It's... You know the white nonsense shit they use to like patch up walls when there's a hole.
Mm-hmm.
That's plaster.
That's fragile.
Or like when people do paper mache. Yeah, that's why I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's not a weapon.
Huh? I wondered if there might be something here too, and I inadvertently.
Inadvertently.
Yeah. Inadvertently looked at the trash can, and I was surprised to find something. I thought it was a tissue paper, but looking closely, it looks like a type of cloth. I took out the unidentified piece of cloth from the trash and opened it. Let's see.
That's Inori's.
Yeah.
He wasn't wearing it.
And it sure is plastered with blood, which probably isn't hers.
No, I think it's Yamaguchi's.
So hey, your wish of them both having died at the same place might have been true. In the worst way possible.
I'm gonna cry!
Monkey paw!
Anyway.
Are these clothes? No, it's not just clothes. This is... no way. Yes, they were indeed blood-soaked. It was difficult to recognize the original color, but the pure white color that looked at a glance reminded me that it was originally a white gown worn by doctors. A coat. A lab coat. This white coat is what Inori was wearing. When I think about it, Inori's body that I saw in the science lab was not wearing a white coat. The thing I would find in such an unexpected place. No, in fact, it may not be so unexpected. The place where the corpses were found at the science lab and the library, but the art room is pretty close to the area of the incident. The locker where Mikado was found was also the art room. This white coat...
The blood is not... I know what happened. I have like an idea. I think that Kakeru got injured. Well, okay. I think that Inori had an injury or something, and Kakeru was carrying her. Hid her in the locker because he was being chased by someone. What doesn't explain this is how he ended up downstairs.
That's sure, like...
Because he would have to be injured too, because I don't think the blood hurt. I think it's an injury that he got. I don't think that blood, one, belongs to Mekaru because she seemed fine.
Yep.
Two, belongs to Kinjo because Kinjo was found downstairs. I think originally Inori was in that locker. Because that explains why the lab coat is there, drenched in blood, and why there is a locker drenched in blood.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out why there's a dot, like a splatter, like a light splatter on that one piece though.
Why is this case like this?
And then Yuki also mentioned that one was moved from the other side of the room, which is the same side of the room where the coat was, and the locker. What the fuck is going on here?
It seems the blood from the coat has been there for some time, since it didn't feel wet at all. The question is, where did the killer use this white coat? For starters, Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding, so maybe it was used while killing Yamaguchi? No, it can't be. It's too dry to be from Yamaguchi's blood. Though, I thought it would be an important clue, so I was able to make a new discovery while investigating every corner of the white coat. In the pocket of the white coat, I found out a crumbled plastic wrap, but when I opened it carefully, I could see that it was blood-stained. The locker, library floor, white coat, and this. There are too many blood-related clues.
I agree with him.
What even happened here? Also, when I take a look closer. The plastic wrap had a small round hole in the middle, but the meaning was unknown. So like the spear thingy? Maybe the blood came from this hole?
Preventing the blood splatter. Preventing the blood splatter, but couldn't.
But then why is there no blood on the floor? and where that spear is. Oh my god, I need to look back in earlier videos to see where that originally was, because I don't I would not have noticed that it moved if he did not say something.
Yep, I also wouldn't have.
Because I also don't know what side it was on. Was it against the fucking pillar? Because then the theory that I'm having right now would not make sense. If it was out in the opening, then yeah, I could see it. But what the fuck?
But the meaning
But I do think this and that thing are connected, yeah.
I guess I have to talk about it in a trial. It's possible it was used to prevent blood, but wrapping a plastic for the sake of... Would it have anything to do with the clues we found? Yeah, Yuki. The hallway is a water bath and the art room is full of bloody lockers. Why is everything so bad? Mood.
I love her. She's just like, what the fuck is going on? Me too. Me too, Satsuki. Thank you.
It seems the culprit this time planned a crime by going from place to place. That's a very intelligent killer. I wonder if Satsuki can win. Against such a mighty opponent, I'm a little worried. Yeah. I mean, we know who it is, probably, but that will be an interesting trial.
Yeah, it's like we probably know who it is, but like the pieces of how the fuck things happens, I'm still debating some shit.
Yep. It's a locker that contained How do you pronounce that?
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. I've never heard that pronounced before. Miscellaneous.
Yeah, it's
artworks.
Normally they shorten it to MISC, which you can pronounce as Missic, which is completely different pronunciation from the actual fucking word itself. Well, I feel for you. Anyway.
But now the inside is covered with blood in a terrible condition. Mikado was bound like this in this bloody locker. At that time, Mikado's arms and legs were tied with tape and her mouth was taped as well. She was locked from the outside and hit the door of the locker from the inside to try to get out. And the result was the rumbling sound that echoed in the second floor. And the killer did all of this, right? Apparently, the culprit trapped her here for some reason. Otherwise, if you did all of this to yourself, it would only create more suspicion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so curious about what Mikado's witness report is gonna be.
Gotta find her first. Where the fuck is she at?
Good question. Probably at Inori's corpse, probably?
She's either checking out Inori, or she's going to check on Kinjo. I cannot see her doing the second one, so...
Not only Mikado, the attack on Uehara and Kinjo must have had a reason as well. But the bigger issue is this bloody locker. If you think about it, Yamaguchi or Inori's body don't really seem related to the art room. However, what does the blood in the locker suggest? No matter who it's from, it's pretty difficult not to miss it. The blood is also dried. Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding. Yamaguchi instead had too much bleeding.
Urehara was bleeding.
Yeah, I still wonder if it was actually his blood or... But he died not too long ago, and Mikado was also tied here, but she was not bleeding. If that's the case, it could be Kinjo's blood. It's only a guess, but Kinjo got hit in his head. This amount comes from his head. Wouldn't he have died? This blood's identity is troublesome, in more ways than one. I've no choice but to discuss it at the class trial. It sure is a bloody case.
Alright, where is this room in regards to the stairs? Like the stairs to downstairs. Yeah, okay, alright. I think we should also factor in Urehara's blood. I know he's not bleeding a lot right now, but he supposedly was out for the whole night, air quotes, which I still don't know if I believe. But if he actually was, not much bleeding would make sense. Surprised that he didn't fucking bleed out.
I inadvertently tried to walk towards the science lab, but I was surprised because the water from it was filling the corridor now. The water is still leaking from the science lab? It won't matter if I just go in, but from what Mikado warned me about before, it gives me something to be cautious of. I shouldn't step into this water. Hey, incompetent! Get out of the way quickly, you're obstructing the traffic. Oh, Mikado, you came here about this water. Are you still talking? Would you get out of the way already? But, Mikado, you said we shouldn't touch the water a while ago. Why are you doing this? Probably electricity was turned off?
Yeah, I would think that she would have gotten Monokuma to turn off the electricity so they could properly investigate.
And if you are going there, wouldn't it be dangerous to enter? It's fine to enter now, so feel free to go in. I've spoken to Monokuma earlier and put the electricity away. Put it away? You know when you enter the science lab. Still, no one seems to be turning off the faucet. You guys really don't have a clue, do you? You don't even have Tsurugi Kinjo anymore. Put what away? The faucet? For the love of God! Would you look directly with your own two eyes and think, in your head at least? Would be nice if I could tell you everything, huh?
I love her! She's just like, why are you annoying me with your idiotic questions? Move!
Look first, then ask questions, Yuki.
He needs to learn it. That's probably her biggest pet peeve with him, is he doesn't look around first.
There's no point in being so irritating. Well, since Mikado said that it's safe to walk in the water, I should be more confident now. Like Mikado said, let's see what happened with my own eyes.
Goodness.
Oh my god, the faucet's just running.
Running.
I had that brainworm, I'm just fucking say anything. It comes full circle.
Yep. What's this? A wooden stick-like object was floating on the water-filled science lab floor. Oh, that's right. When the science lab's door didn't open, it was because of this thing that Mikado removed to open the door. When we found Inori's body, we had a hard time because the door of the science room could not be opened, but it seems that the killer used this object to block the door. When I picked it up and checked it up close, it was an ordinary wooden stick, but it was very thick, so it would be natural if the sliding door was blocked with something like this. When I looked at the back of the door, I saw a space where a wooden board could fit in. If its close was standing behind the door, then the closed room scenario would naturally be completed. Ah yes, locked room murder. However, what was the reason for the killer to make a closed room? Reason to lock the room, probably to make the water build up. I'll keep it in mind. An object next to Inori's body. It's the Monokuma file. Brought by that thing. Information about Inori should be written in it. Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I think it's supposed to resemble that electrocution, but
Golly.
The victim is Kanata Inori. The estimated time of death is about 8:35. The body was found in a science lab. The cause of death is electric shock. The body's internal organs have been burned through the wet body because of an electric current for a long time while being bound.
ugh, that's a way to go. Why would you do this to her?
Deep fried.
Ugh, she didn't deserve that.
Nope, I just hope she died fast.
God, me too.
Terrible. Not a drop of blood was shed. And yet, this is the most terrible someone has done to a friend. Doing this to Inori, who is the smallest and weakest among us.
Yep. Another for the counter.
Yep, though I'm not really in the mood to laugh about it.
Nah, I'm so upset.
The culprit behind this. It's fair to say that we are distressed to have to adopt another friend against our will, but at this very moment, the undeniable anger that I feel has risen against the perpetrator, even if I don't know who they are yet. It's different from Yamaguchi. He was presumed to have been killed by his neck with one blow, but in Nori's case, she was just a victim. Was just too pitiful?
I want to say cruel.
But Inori's case was just too cruel. Was a victim that was killed in front of my very own eyes. A few minutes ago, with a single wall in between the door and the science lab, I heard her scream. Yeah, that was a recording, my dude.
Yeah.
Her pain, her cries, her agony, very clearly. I can't help but feel this anger, but it won't make any difference. Since it's just a Monokuma file that gives us information, I'll just have to make use of this. But this alone is not enough information. From what I can deduce as of now is, the time of death was 8:35. She died 5 minutes earlier than Yamaguchi. Around that time, we couldn't open the science lab room. And we were just outside of the room, there was no problem with the time at least. But killing 2 people directly in 5 minutes. At that time, we're walking between the 2nd and 3rd floors, so if we go back and forth between the areas, you would definitely stand out. How could a killer murder 2 people with only 5 minutes for each? Delayed murder.
Yeah.
Welp. Oh, this is the phone. Deep in the water pool of the science lab, we saw something that I had seen somewhere before. This was Maki's mobile phone? Probably the cell phone that Uehara discovered on the first day, when the 3rd floor was opened. I hadn't seen any other phones, so Maki's would be the only one left. Why is the cell phone in this place? I looked up at the sides, wondering, but as soon as I saw the screen, I noticed that this phone was not in normal condition. Why is the screen like this? The phone screen was crumbled with a mixture of purple and pink. The clock was turned into a strange language rather than numbers, and the buttons weren't fit properly. To simply put it in a word, it's broken.
Yeah, water does that to electronics.
Yep. Well, it's only natural because it was underwater. I couldn't hide my disappointment, hoping that I might be able to fix this phone and get in touch with the outside world later on. You can disassemble it and dry it and maybe try again.
Yeah, put it in some rice.
No.
You know that trick?
I haven't tried it myself.
Basically, you get rice that hasn't been cooked, like the hydrated kinds. You pop the phone open, and you throw the pieces, like after you dry it off as much as you can, you pop the phone open, you put the bitch in there, and you leave it like overnight. It's supposed to suck all the water out.
I
have not tried it.
Yeah, I usually just put my wet stuff over the heater, so...
Yeah.
No, right now the class trial should be the main priority. Anyway, does this mean that the mobile phone was used as some kind of tool for the incident related to this case? Thinking that way, I fiddled with the phone a little more. I noticed a small alarm indicator at the top of the screen. The alarm was set to 8:30, but now it's already off. Who set the alarm? Besides, at 3:30, this was just before we tried to open the science lab door, so the recording was on there.
The recording was the alarm.
That's also a way, huh?
Yeah.
As I pondered, it's very likely the phone was involved in the incident, because it was not only that, there was also another tool attached to the phone's strap. Welp! This is, if I'm not mistaken, this could be... The object connected to the cell phone strap was something I had seen in cartoons and movies. An electric shocker? I think it was also called a stun gun. Why are these dangerous objects at a school? No, it seems like they were in the storage of the science lab, but... That's right. Now I can understand what Mikado said. Probably because the stun gun was using its power into the water pit. If I entered in that state, there's a high chance that we would have gotten electrocuted. But now it seems that it's not working. It was also because Mikado told Monokuma to put it away. Well, it's not really put away, but out of commission. More importantly than that this is far from the crime scene. According to the Monokuma file, Inori's death was caused by electrocution, so it's probably definitive that this was most likely the murder weapon? Probably. But what reason does it have to be connected to the phone strap? Also, very interesting choice of Uehara to use the phone that was in his possession.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done that.
That's such a bad move. If you're trying to not get caught, that's such a bad move.
I mean,
That's probably why he's claiming that he got injured, so that he could count it as someone mugged me, I don't have it anymore. I don't know about that, my guy, because you had a head injury and walked it off like you were fine.
Yep. But you know what would be the most funny but probably won't happen?
What?
If he actually wasn't the killer.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Everything's pointing to him. Unconsciously or not, he's just... Also, obviously, the phone strap is probably wrapped around the button, and when the alarm sounded, it probably turned on the taser.
Probably. Also, that's not the only weird thing. If you think about this, if the weapon was a stun gun, it means that the killer struck Inori with this object. Dude, no. Water. You know what water does?
Water is a conductor.
Yes. But then contradictions show up, such as the locked room scenario in the science lab and the crime that was done to Yamaguchi. No, there's nothing that suggests that the killer can only attack the victim directly, yes. Maybe making the science lab out of water like this was to prepare an effective crime scene. If electricity goes on while you're immersed in water, you're in a danger zone. The rest would be to figure out how the killer made the water to be energized and what method did they use. I'll have to speak about this with the others. Alright, let's look at Inori. She sure was cooked.
She doesn't deserve this.
I'm almost.
Fucking eyes are rolled back in her head too.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that the scorching filter that was used makes it pretty hard to see any details.
Okay, I see that part of the tape is off her mouth. I do not think she could scream loud enough, even so, with that being said. I swear to God, if that's what happened, I'm gonna throttle Lanush's enclosure with my hands. Shake it around, because that's not... No, you've been doing so good so far, stop.
I was seeing Inori's body sinking in the water. It seems like she was in tears. We're investigating the bodies of some of our dead friends with no time to grieve. However, without investigation, the killer couldn't be identified. In order to survive the class trial, I must investigate. For now, I decided to look at the body of Inori based on what was written in Monokuma file. Inori's body was so terrible that you couldn't see it with your eyes open, but for now all of her clothes and skin were burned. Her whole body was fixed with several layers of box tape, and her hands were tied with ropes hung from the table. Inori, in this terrible state of being unable to move, suffered terrible pain and died. Damn it. I continued to investigate while my swearings reached hollow ears. The tools that were used on Inori, I remember seeing box tapes and ropes in the art room. It seems for whatever reason the art room is a place related to the incident. Other than that, I can only think of the fact that the faucet where she's tied to is the same table, and there are many
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. It does not look like a word that is pronounced like that. Miscellaneous.
I know it doesn't, but I promise it sounds like that.
Miscellaneous tools around us. But do they have anything to do with the case? The box tape was tightly attached to her shoulders, 5 layers. Even a strong adult man would find it impossible to tear it off with their own strength. And also, it must have been even harder for Inori, who was small in size, to move. Was there any reason to tie Inori to this extent? Just the killer's idea? Would that be it? Probably, yeah, to keep her in place.
If she's on the floor, then yes. Like if they're taping her down on the floor, and if what they mean by box tape is fucking duct tape, yeah, she wouldn't be able to move.
Looking at it that way, Inori has always been in the infirmary after it was opened. Maybe there's a clue in that place too. Thank you for the clue.
I was just thinking that, like, she's almost always in there.
Mikaru... You didn't follow me, did you? At least you listened. When you came in here... you came in here, so now you know. The reason why I told you not to touch the water, and why this place became a pool of water. Yeah, but Mikharu, I wanted to ask you something different than this. Do you think I'll answer? I am serious here. I really have a question. It was when you were in the art room locker. You asked me to show you my hand as soon as you left the locker, right? Why did you do that? I won't answer this, however. It's just simple safety. No matter what happens, the only thing that lives on is insurance. It is the minimal precaution that's needed. Insurance. The two of us aren't close enough to explain every phrase to you, am I right? Would I be close enough if I finished your free time events?
I think even then she would say no.
God damn it.
She's just that kind of tsundere.
Well, don't worry. The Psycho-Cop won't be able to serve you this time, so you should have an insurance at least. Serve you? When you guys...
She knows.
Yeah, she knows. She definitely knows. She's judging.
Oh, that's funny.
Judging Yuki's taste.
Yuki is in a... You know, like a love pyramid, okay? Because you got her, you got Tsurugi, and then you got fucking Akane. And all of them show things to him in different ways, and it's really funny to me.
Yep.
To see the differences.
Boy oh boy. It's a long way to go for Yuki, considering that he doesn't even realize that Akane likes him.
He can't seem to realize that Rei and Tsurugi also like him, so it's alright. The man's just fucking dense.
A true harem protagonist.
Oh my god.
They gotta be dense. Otherwise the series would be over too soon.
They gotta be dense as shit, and oh my fucking god. Anyway.
When you guys feel so clueless that you got no other ways to go on the verge of death? If this aspect shows up in a trial, then I'll show you my last trump card. Looking forward to it.
Ma'am, I am on my knees. Please just give us a bone.
She gonna steal the spotlight from us.
Always.
So please, make sure that doesn't happen. I think you want it to happen.
Such important evidence, though, ma'am. Please.
She wants to watch us work hard.
Yes, she does, because she takes immeasurable pleasure in it.
She is high maintenance.
Yes.
Mikado began to investigate Inori's body again, leaving only empty silence in the end. It's the moment that it means that she will no longer speak. At that time, Mikado had to make sure to give her my right hand. I took a look at my right hand, but there wasn't anything there. Is there something only Mikado knows? Yep. Alright, let's take a look closer. No, I don't think there's anything more here.
Faucet.
Ah, now that you mention it. Ah, by the way, we should end the part.
Yeah.
We are already running over time, so next time we will probably finish the investigation.
Yeah.
So until then, goodbye.